Hello and welcome to PGurus channel. I'm your host Sri Iyer. Today we are going to go to God's own country, Kerala, and we are going to learn about one of the most ancient forms of martial arts, Kalaripayattu. To know more about it, let's welcome Sri S R D Prasad Gurukul. Prasad avarale, namaskaram. Sir, to start with, this organization is Sri Bharat Kalari, and all the viewers who are watching this program, I would like to make a request to all of you to please consider donating to this organization. They are having a lot of plans to teach this art, this ancient form of martial art online, and for that, they are investing in a very big way, and you can learn this art form from anywhere in the world. So to enable that, this academy is looking for funding, and Masterji is an expert in this form, and I hope you can donate to this cause. And whatever you donate today in this conversation, the proceeds of that, all of it will go towards this organization. And from personally, from my point, I'm also going to donate. And please help this ancient form because it is in danger of going extinct. And with great vision, Gurukul has planned to make this thing available online so that you can be anywhere in the world and still learn this magnificent form. To know more about this, let's go to Sri Prasad Gurukul. Prasad ji, can we start from the time Parasurama? The legend goes that Parasurama was instrumental in creating Kerala. So why don't you share with our viewers, sir, from that point forward, and then we can catch up with what is happening after that.
Yeah, the mythology goes that Parashurama is the very creator of Kerala. He, through his divine mache, standing on some of the rocks near the Arabian Sea, he 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 delivered it into the Arabian Sea, and his divine mache fell uh, in the sea, and the sea, as if in a reverse tsunami, receded. That is the legend. And the land of Kerala emerged. And he settled it with the Brahmins and various people. And he was the first man who taught Kalaripayat. He was a Dhanurvedic expert. And it is said that he introduced Kalaripayat. He established the first Kalaris, 64 or 108 or whatever. And he taught the art to the people. And that is the legendary part of it. But historians will not subscribe to that, and they will have a real history. History says that it is Aryan migration which happened about 3,000 years back into India, and from the Indus Valley or wherever that is, small groups of Aryans, clans, migrated to different parts of India. That is what Sri Aurobindo testifies. And one of the groups, led by Bhargava, a Bhargava Gotra or a clan, migrated to Kerala also through Konkan region, and they established their settlements here. They became agriculturists, and it was those Aryans who mixed their form of martial art, which they brought in, Dhanurveda maybe, with an indigenous form of martial art which was existing in Kerala, and it crystallized to form the present day Kalaripayat. That is the mythology and historic aspect of Kalaripayat.
Now, the legendary aspect we have covered now, sir. It is believed that Kalaripayattu forms the basis for what turned on to be things like karate, jujitsu, and all the other forms that became popular in China, Japan, and so on. So, how did this ancient art form spread first to South India and then from there to the other countries?
Actually, historians say that Kalaripayat, as a rudimentary form, started during the Sangam period.
Hmm.
Sangam period is between 200 BC and 600 AD, when there was Tamil kings ruled all over South India. It was at that time the Tamil literature of that period, that is Sangam literature. There is reference about the use of weapons which are still now used, like shield, sword, spear, etc. So Kalaripayat had its start at that time during the Sangam period. Later on, Sangam period ended by 7th or 12th century. The Sangam period ended, and there were a lot of principalities or Sirubams which happened in Kerala and other parts, and there were private armies uh, sponsored and created and kept by the local rulers. There were so many rulers like Zamorins, Kolatiri, Parachi, etc. And they were all keeping private armies for themselves, or keeping the territory intact and attacking also. At that time, Kalaris, which developed Kalaripayat as a real martial art, it flourished like anything. And all these rulers sponsored the Kalaris also. They gave freely, they sponsored all the Kalaris, and the Kalaripayat experts were part and parcel of the rulers at that time, and they wielded power also. It was at that time Kalaripayat had a slow progress. And during the Brahminical period, also, that is between 7th and 9th centuries, the Brahmins established shalais all over. In shalais, there was uh, Vedic learning as well as uh, martial art training, which happened side by side. Both mental and physical development was the aim. And at that time also, Kalaripayat developed. But after the Perumal rule, Kalaripayat had its acme of development. That is during the uh, 15th to 17th centuries.
Sir, let us talk a little bit about the structure of Kalaripayattu, and then perhaps you can dwell on how you are planning on doing the online courses. That you can do a little bit, but to understand for the viewers how many years of instruction is needed, what are the phases in which the development is measured, what time, what age should a child start? Can it be for boys and girls, and so on and so forth? Perhaps you can walk us through from the time somebody starts learning Kalaripayattu and how they are gauged, how they are progressed, and so on and so forth.
Yes, that's a very broad subject. I will put it in short.
Yes,
Usually,
yes.
a boy or a girl, both, they are initiated into Kalaripayat at the age of 7. 7, 8 is the right age for
Hmm.
them to start Kalaripayat. Both boys and girls can do that without any harm, because that is the age when the body is tender enough and it is developing also. Catch them young. That was the motto for the Kalaripayat experts also once upon a time. So they are initiated into Kalaripayat. Now, going into the structure of Kalaripayat, first they will learn body conditioning exercises without using any weapons or implements. They are taught how to master over the body, various kinds of movements, exaggerated movements. You exaggerate the movements of your limbs, your joints, your muscle groups, and gain perfect balance of the body, stamina of the body, quickness, agility, all the faculties of the body are developed by doing the first part of Kalaripayat, which is Meipayat. In Malayalam, it is Meipayat. Mei is the body, Payat is the exercises. And so it is simply the body conditioning exercises. That is the first part. It may take 2 3 years to complete or 1 year to complete. That depends upon the learning ability of the student and the teaching ability of the guru concerned. That is fine. Anyway, I will come to that later. After gaining control over the body to a great extent, the next step, that is the next in the whole pedagogy or the syllabus of Kalaripayat, the second part is Koltari exercises, or Kol means a, a stick made of wood. All the wooden implements or the weapons are used in the Koltari section. So they start with long canes. Long canes means those are very simple exercises. You can see from long distances, you can see where the hit is coming. So you are asked to defend yourself. Various series of exercises with long staff. Then it comes to the short staff. That is 3 spans in length, more quick, more fast. Then you develop the required reflexes to defend and also to offend a bit. Then there is a bend baton, which is called otta, an odd-looking weapon. Odd is the English word. Otta is the Malayalam word for that. That came from the same etymology is the same. That is another thing. But Otta is an advanced learning in the Koltari, that is the stick weapon. So after all this mastering over all these stick weapons, the next stage, next syllabus is of sharp weapons, which is known as Angatari in Malayalam, which is all about sharp weapons. Sharp weapons like sword and shield, spear, urumi, which is a flexible sword, and a small dagger. Those are the metallic weapons used in Kalaripayattu. So you gain a lot of reflexes. You gain courage also to use the weapons. So that is the third part. And final part, that is the fourth part, is the Verungai. Verungai means
Just
bare-handed,
hands. Yes.
bare-handed, just hands only. So you defend any attack from any person with or without weapon, and maim him. Maybe apply a marma, that is vital important points on the opponent's body. You apply force on that, maim him, cripple him, or break his bones by a put, by a lock, and that is the fourth part. So all these parts put together, maybe an expert teacher and an expert student can gain mastery over all these in 3.5, 4 years, if one really puts in effort in the Kalari. That's it.
So now let us come to today's time. So we are going to start an online course, and for that you probably will have some online classes, and then at some point you'll have to test and see how well the student or has progressed. So you perhaps you can realistically, because we don't know yet, but it might be the 3-4 years of learning it at, let's say, your ashram. If now it is a global learning institute, how do you see that
Yes.
3-4 years span out in a real lifetime? Because these days, if you look at children from the third grade or the fourth grade, they are preparing for this exam, that thing, this thing. Very, very, the parents plan their children's thing from the time they get up to the right time they go to sleep. Perhaps you can share with our viewers what kind of timeline you see if this is learned online.
We should be able to put it that way. We select the not all, but select the best of exercises, and we will try that. But we have not done it yet. So
Yeah.
in a changed scenario, we will have to reposition our whole art into the people's requirement. So we will do that together. I don't have a quick answer right way, but I think we will be able to do that. We should be able to reposition that.
Yeah, so it's an evolving thing. We
And
understand that because it is the first time we are trying it out. We have to see how the pace works. So thank you so much for that, sir. The next question I have for
yeah.
you is we talked a little bit about Kalaripayat's rise of that, and then after that this ancient form had a bit of a decay, isn't it? When did that start, and how did that happen?
That happened when India fell into foreign rule.
Okay.
That is part of history. So they changed the warfare, the very warfare activities, and the way of warfare changed. Guns came, and cannons came, and then there was naturally a decadence for Kalaripayattu also. Kalaripayattu, you should understand that it had a very precious time once, because it was part of even judiciary once upon a time. We will explain it later. And that during that decadence, that is 15th century, 16th century, and all that. After that, there was a steady decadence. And during the freedom fight, uh, which was in Kerala, mostly initiated by Parashiraja, even. Kalaripayattu was banned even by the Britishers at that time. That was in 1804.
Hmm.
1805, Parashiraja fell. And ever after that, that ban was there in effect. Weapon training was banned. Hoarding of weapons was not made unlawful, and that decadence was there even after we gained independence. India gained independence. That continued for a time because of the changed educational pattern and all that. But that is part of history. But during the independence movement itself, great Gandhiji started with the Swadeshi movement, in which he called for the uplift of the indigenous art forms all over India. At that time, the freedom fighters of Kerala found that Kalaripayattu is also an indigenous form of art in Kerala, and they tried to uplift that. It was at that time, that is in early 1900s, Kalaripayattu had a small revival. And immediately after independence, that is in 1948, our Kalari was started, and it was named Sri Bharat Kalari aptly. And you asked me about the migration of Kalaripayat, so-called migration of Kalaripayat into China, etc. Now, almost all believe that with Buddhism, uh, Kalaripayat traveled into China, and various institutions were built over there, and the crux of Kalaripayat was taken by the people over there, and it was transformed into art forms like kung fu, karate, etc. That is a story, but there is no written evidence for that. But they all believe that happened with the travel of Buddhism.
Sir, I have a couple of observations, and please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. The first one is regarding Parasi Raja. I believe that Parasi Raja defeated the Dutch, and there's some legend about him, how brave he was. That is the first question, sir. Maybe you can answer that, and I'll ask you the follow-up question after that.
No, it was not Dutch, but it was British only. It was English,
Okay.
because in
Okay.
1804 it was not ruled by Kerala was not ruled by Dutch. It was English only. Yes.
He's supposed to have defeated the Dutch in a war. That's what I was asking, referring to Parasi Raja.
No, no,
Oh,
he did not wage any war
I
against the
see. I
Dutch.
see. I see. I see. So let's take a step forward. We had the Mapara revolt, rebellion in 1921. Uh,
1920.
uh, Now, at that time, because the British had banned it, in your opinion, if this was still active and alive, do you think the Hindus could have defended themselves better?
No, no, no. It is not that. By 1921, that ban was not there, but
I
the
see.
slow decadence was there. That's all. That's all.
I see. I see. So there is not many people learning it. So
and
the
and and it was not a revolt against the Hindus per se. It
hmm,
turned out to be that it started as an anti-British revolt, but it slowly changed its course
They
in
morphed into
various
something
places,
else. Mm.
and it became an anti-Hindu rebellion. We will
Mm.
not delve into that much.
Yes, yes, yes.
But
So,
there is one very important point where Kalaripayat, even though it is a martial art of Kerala, it has influenced almost 30 odd folk art forms of Kerala.
I was going to
That
come
is
to
very
that.
important.
Yeah, please
Yeah,
go ahead.
please.
Please explain to us a little bit about how it is influencing the
Yeah,
folk
yeah.
arts of Kerala.
Yes. It is in two ways. Like Theyyam, Theyyam. Theyyam is a very ritualistic art form of Kerala. In Theyyam, in both ways, Kalaripayat influenced. Kalaripayat supplied even the heroes. Theyyam is hero worship also. So some of the stalwarts of Kalaripayat like Tacholi Renan, Payyambali Chandu, etc., they were taken, they were deified, and they are even worshipped now. Now they are in all costumes. They come to the society, they bless the congregation, and they are worshipped even now. Kalaripayat experts, only because they were influential at that time. They were engaged in all the activities in the social field, like settling a dispute or whatever. So that is one thing. Then in the world famous Kathakali, in the Kathakali, all the body movements are taken from the Kalari experts. The Kalari experts were training Kathakali artists to start with in all the body movements, because it is all body language that is depicted. That is another thing. And Purakali, Polkali, various, about, as I said, 30 art forms of Kerala are influenced directly or indirectly by Kalaripayat.
Now,
Okay.
you made a passing mention to the use of Kalaripayat in judiciary. Could you please expand a little bit on that?
Yes. If uh, there arose a dispute between two people about a property or whatever, so they were able to, they will talk to each other, they will quarrel with each other in a bit, and they are not able to settle it. They then take it to the village authorities or the king itself himself. So the king will ask them in various negotiations. If he is not able to settle that, he asks the contestants, the two disputants, to settle it by an angam. Angam is they will go for hired mercenaries. They hire two mercenaries, and an angam is what a duel is fought over there, and whoever wins, he will be awarded that property or whatever. Even though we will, I mean, uh, see a bit of, I mean, it is not justice in our standards, present day standard, but uh, two groups of people quarreling each other for two people, that is avoided, and the dispute is settled by the death of maybe one person or two persons only. That is the part of judiciary. That is it.
Thank you, sir. Viewers, please send in your questions. We are getting a few questions, but we are also taking some more because as we come towards the end of this talk, we will start answering your questions. Gurukul will be happy to answer your questions. And so the last question I have for you, sir, as part of this hangout is when did the revival and the renaissance start of Kalaripayattu? I mean, I can tell you today, every time I read the news of a girl being raped by four boys or something like that. Nowadays, they are doing so much worse. Like they're trying to even burn the body, killing them, and all that. I always wish the girls, the women, learned some way to defend themselves. Not only defend themselves, but inflict harm. That these boys will think 10 times before even coming close to a woman. If there is a way that they can be armed by teaching these things, think how liberated India would be physically as well as mentally. Now, perhaps you can talk a little bit about the context of this and how you can make the women folk, the children, become more confident because they know that if they can defend themselves, there is no need to worry about it. These are all hand to hand stuff
Yes.
only most of the time. So perhaps you can expand on that.
Yes, the revival started, as I told you, during the independence movements. That is in early 1900s. So ever after that, the governments also are taking interest in reviving Kalaripayat. Now, recently, Kannur University has started a diploma course in Kalaripayat, and Bombay University, they have, uh, sorry, a few years back, they have started a dance and fitness course in which Kalaripayat is a subject. And they have government of India has bestowed upon a woman guru Padma Shri award, and before just before that 1 year back, that is in 2015, they gave me a Sangeet Nadaga Academy Puraskar, central government. So those are all things which are extended by the government of India now. Government of Kerala is also doing a lot now through the Folklore Academy. They are giving awards. They are giving stipends to small children for learning Kalaripayat. Small amounts, but then that's an encouragement. So various things are being done now by various government organizations and private people to revive Kalaripayat uh, and establish it as not as a martial art, because as a martial art it has lost its prominence, because there are better killing equipments now. So it is no more a martial art. But then the discipline which you gain out of Kalaripayat, the mental and physical discipline one gains out of learning Kalaripayat, that is very important. That should be able to be repositioned in our society. I don't advocate young boys and girls learning Kalaripayat to fight each other and show their prominence. It is not that way. But then, as you rightly pointed out, defensive activity for girls, that's a must now. Not in a very refined society, but in a refining society, it is needed. So girls should be equipped to handle a situation. Maybe a pickpocket, maybe a small robbery, maybe a small skirmish. They should be able to escape from that, as you rightly pointed out. And for that, Kalaripayat can do a lot.
That's what I'm hoping that the parents of young children, especially girls, will understand, because this is a problem that is across the world. It is not just to India or to one particular region. Everywhere, the weaker sex is always targeted. And imagine if we can take this art to the whole world, and that would make for a very confident and assured woman, and that would do wonders for the world. Sir,
Yes.
if you would like to make a statement as a closing statement, please do so. Then after that, I'll start giving all the questions. We are about 29 minutes into our talk. So if you could just summarize this, why people should learn Kalaripayat, and that you are looking forward to having online sessions with. Perhaps you can take the floor now, sir. After that, we'll start the questions.
Yes, I would like to emphasize the whole philosophy of learning Kalaripayat also. In the very structure of Kalaripayat, it is imbibed. I don't know whether there is any martial art in the world where a philosophy is imbibed in the structure itself. You can learn it from the literature or from the talk, but in the learning process itself, Kalaripayat is that. For example, I will tell you, in the simplest of exercises, which I told you with the sticks, the disciple or the student is asked to defend himself or herself. Most of the attacks is done by the guru, who is the master and who is teaching that student. And later on, when it comes to advanced fight techniques, the student is asked to offend. He should be mature enough at that time to offend. He should be able to decide in himself that I can offend this, I can attack this person, and then only he releases his attacking skills. That is the whole philosophy of Kalaripayat, which is imbibed in the structure itself, because you can see, you can observe that it is mostly defense during the early stages of Kalaripayat after body conditioning, and it is all attack by the student in a later stage, which is the more advanced techniques. So that that is the discipline you gain out of Kalaripayat. So that is my uh, concluding statement, maybe.
That was a wonderful discussion that we had, sir, about Kalaripayattu. And I think toward the end, I'm beginning to say it the correct way. And I'm still a work in progress. I'll continue to say it right. Now, let's take a few questions, sir, with your permission. Vaibhav Tanwar.
Very well, very well, very well.
Vaibhav Tanwar wants to know, sir, why are martial arts now only used for showcase purposes and they are not that effective in war-like conditions?
Because it has just changed. Warlike position, it is no more relevant as a martial art. That we should understand. I have told you also, and we should be able to take it as we should be able to reposition Kalaripayat as you rightly said, as a defensive art for the weakest section. That is one thing, and for the dancers to improve their body conditions. Then for sports persons, as a corrective exercises, there are a lot of corrective exercises in Kalaripayat, which can be taken up by the sports people. Even I, when I went to the University of Kannur to teach them Kalaripayat, that's a sports class there. There is this, it is the Kalaripayat comes under sport activity. There are a lot of sportsmen also experts. They wanted to do some corrective exercises. If one is a high jumper, or uh, or a person who should move backwards like in a shuttlecock, if they are not able to move like that freely, we take specialized exercises from Kalaripayat, teach them, and there is improvement also for them. And for dancers to improve their gait, to improve their balance of the body, there are so many exercises. So we should be able to take Kalaripayat to various people very effectively. So, and as a show also, it can be taken as a show also. But we should not stick on to that. Like, uh, I will tell you an example. A very pathetic condition happened for Chow and Tangta people also. Those were also martial arts of India. Uh, they, that was also banned once upon a time. So the artists in that penury stricken, they became penury stricken, and they changed it to show. Now that martial art quality is lost, and it is only a stage show. We have other stage shows like Kathakali or various other things in which Kalaripayat can help. Even for theatre, reflexes of the theatre artist, Kalaripayat is taught. So we should be able to reposition that.
Thank you, sir. The next question is from Gaurav. How useful in defense Marma Vidya, which focuses on the human body's 108 points?
Yes, very good question, because that leads me to say something about the Kalari treatment also. There is a medicine aspect also for Kalari with a lot of massages using oils, various kinds of oils. In that comes this marma, or the vital important points of the body, which can be used both ways. If there is a marma injury happening due to some other accidents, he comes to the Kalari, and Kalari gurus are experts to treat him in that. Or if it is against an opponent, you can use that marma points to maim him, to I mean, cripple him. So in both ways it can be used, positive as well as negative.
Sir, the next question is also an interesting one from Tushar Oja. When is the plan to launch the online program? What will be the maximum age for joining the program? You said the minimum age. Somebody wants to know the maximum age.
That we face that question always whenever we attend a seminar. Maximum age is, I think you can also learn Kalaripayat. May not be able to do it as flexible as a 7-year-old boy or a girl, but then you can also use the body and joints to your maximum capacity, and become stable for that age, and etc. In our Kalari itself, there are 45-year-old mothers coming and doing Kalaripayattu exercises. But they may not be very perfectly doing it like a small child, but they can also do that and get the proper exercises. And with the sticks also, weapons also, they can practice because they gain a lot of, gain a lot of reflexes and quick reflexes at that. It is very good for them also. Yes,
Next,
anybody can practice Kalaripayat.
thank you, sir. The next question is from Suguneshwaran Iyengar. Has RSS shown any interest in incorporating this art among its cadres? How can this art form die in this land, whereas its offshoots are flourishing elsewhere? Like he's talking about karate, kung fu, and all that stuff.
Yes, I have not gone to any RSS sagas, but I think they are more interested in North Indian way of Ganda, etc. With long, big staff and all that. They are not very much interested in Kalaripayattu. I suppose I have not gone to their
So
practice
that's not been
sessions.
explored yet.
They have
Yeah.
not come to. They have not come to me also
Okay.
for teaching.
So next question is Santosh Bannur wants to know how can this be brought to mainstream education system?
I didn't get the second part of the question. Mainstream
Some
education.
mainstream as part of a class course. Like for example, you have physics, mathematics, social studies. How can we?
That's a very, very intelligent question. We cannot make it a subject like English or science in schools, but we can make it optional, like any other game, football game or cricket or something like that, a sport item. One can learn Kalaripayat maybe in a school or in a nearby colony and participate in competitions held by schools curriculum people or in colleges. So that is the way to introduce Kalaripayat into schools, not like a science uh, or English, like a
Yeah,
subject. Now, they have now rightly introduced Kalaripayat as a subject in the sports college run by the Kannur University. They are conducting a diploma course over there, as I told you earlier, and it is being utilized by so many people, the sportsmen there and the sportsmen outside. So that is a wonderful thing, and like that, we should be able to promote Kalaripayat in the curriculum.
sir, that's a great suggestion. I will share one small experience of mine in modern day sports. You take cricket, football, hockey, anything that has become popular in the West, even except ball badminton, shuttle badminton. But you think about other sports, you need to be able to have a fundamental stamina to run and run hard for a long amount of time, long periods of time. Because if you have that stamina, then you can do well in long jump, high jump, and all these different sports that you're covering the field, soccer, for example. So, in all these things, the most important exercise the children learn to have when they are very young is what is called as strengthening their hamstring muscle, the muscle that is between your knee
Yes.
and your
Yep.
right.
Aye,
So
aye.
that is what India lacks. You see, I give you an example, practical example, sir. You watch any cricket match, test match. You watch any test match in India, when India is bowling, India will be able to quickly get the top five, six, seven batsmen. And the tail ender, India tries, and it becomes very, very hard. And the reason for that is Indian bowlers are not having the strength in their hamstring muscle. So the over one, the intensity with which they bowl, over 30 it is less, over 50 it is even more less. So this is a fundamental thing about this hamstring muscle. So I'm hoping that because it is going to be part of sports, that attention will be given to these things.
Yes, in Kalaripayat, actually there is no body building happening in Kalaripayat. It is all body toning up. As I
Yes, yes.
told you, all the joints are toned up to its maximum capacity. Hamstring muscles are specially treated. Then the core body strength that is around your waistline. Core body strength is very important in Kalaripayat because it is all in the mostly it is all in the crouching position that we do the exercises to start with. But when we really want to defend or offend, we stand up and in a erect position. But then core body is taken care of very much. And the leg movements are very, very important, and hamstrings muscles are taken care of also. So it is maybe I would call it next to swimming only. As an overall exercises, it is next to swimming only. Right.
Wonderful, sir. Thank you so much. So, this is a question from a slightly related but not related. I'll ask you this question. Akhil Suresh is correcting me, saying whatever I said about Parasi Raja was actually Martanda Varma. It
Oh,
was Martanda
yes,
Varma who
yes,
defeated the Dutch. Maybe you can add a
yes. He
little
was
bit
a
about,
travel.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So, when was that, sir? What year was that? And
Even Martanda Varma, he actually came to the Parasi's Kalari and learned, not the same time, but in different times. Parasi's Kalari is in Malabar, in Kannur only. Martanda Varma is in Trivandrum, Travancore Highness, and
yeah.
Martanda Varma is the son of a girl who was adapted from Malabar to that dynasty. That is the story. So
Hmm.
no, that really happened. There is a record for that. So Martanda Mama, he was reviving his, he was modernizing his army once upon a time. That is in 1700s. At that time, uh, actually, Kalaripayattu experts were left out at that time because when he was modernizing army against the Dutch and British, he
Right.
wanted uh, to 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 bring in a lot of guns and modern war equipments.
Cannons
And
and
at
all
that
that.
time, there was that, yes, that is part of history.
Thank you, sir. The next question is from Mudra Jain. When can we join an online class? Mudra, before you answer, sir, we are putting together, this Bharat Kalari is putting together a program. And the sooner we give them the encouragement in terms of giving sufficient amount of funding, we are trying to go do fundraisers now. Hopefully, we'll
Yes,
be
yes.
able to start this thing very soon. Perhaps you can add to it if you have a timeline, general timeline on when you want to start the online class.
We should be prepared. I don't know this. Actually, I am not very savvy on that, but then I know what is happening around, and we should be able to do that. It is unlike voiceover, like teaching music, or instrumental music or vocal music. It is a physical activity which involves a lot of space and a lot of complicated movements. So we should be planning it beautifully well and then only doing. Otherwise, I am telling in 1 month's time, and no, that is not way. We will be very realistic and we can do that. I hope with the encouragement you give and the participation of all others, we should be able to do that. Let us see.
Well, we have a lot of women viewers of this program. Thank you for all your show of support. Deepthi Gupta is asking a similar question. She's saying, please share a link where one can enroll for the online classes and eligibility criteria. We will publish that thing as soon as we have the information. These are preliminary stages. Perhaps you would like to add a little bit more. Gurukul is starting to think about this, how to put it together, and we have a group of people who are trying to help him in this task. Would you like to add something to that, sir?
Yes, yes. Our students now, they are not very active now in the field now, because of the COVID pandemic. But they have produced one or two small films on this, and which they are showing on YouTube or whatever. Uh, that is the start. So they are already on it, and they know the a bit of technicality also. They have learned, and I think with that expertise, we should be able to bring in other experts also, and we should be able to do that online classes from simple classes to very complex ones. Uh,
Thank you, sir. The next question. I'm sorry. Do you want to finish that thing? I did. I thought you were
no,
done.
no, that's all. That's all.
Okay. Okay.
Please,
Next
please.
question is from Sachin Sharma. Why can't physical training, PT class, why cannot it be replaced with Kalari Payat around the country?
That is the attitude. That is no. We have a lot of art forms here. There is Tangta, there is Chao, there is Silambam, there is Kalaripayat. So we should not stick on to Kalaripayat only. It, But those who are interested in Kalaripayattu, they should be given the chance of doing that. And one is interested in music, he should or she should go for that. We don't in all the schools all over Kerala or all over India, Kalaripayattu is the only thing. No, that is not a broad way of thinking, I suppose. Even though I am a Kalaripayattu master.
That's a very good answer, sir. You are absolutely right there. The next question is from Hari. Is it possible to control your mind by practicing Kalari just like yoga and meditation?
That's a very, very important question. In Kalaripayat, we always say that we train our mind and body together. Even though there is no written philosophy of Kalaripayat, in yoga, I think there is some kind of teaching also going behind that. Unlike the other, or more than the physical postures we do. But in Kalaripayat, it is more dynamic. The physical exercises are very, very dynamic, unlike in yoga. And the mental discipline comes, as I told you, from the defense and offensive position which one takes. That is taught by a learned guru. There is no written literature on that. But then always, when one is initiated into Kalaripayat from a very small age itself, he or she is always asked to defend herself or himself. That is going into the mind, the student's mind. And later on, when they are asked to offend or whatever, they they are into that. And then by that time, they know that I cannot offend a person. I should be not misbehaving with persons. That is the way. It is not very direct, but very indirect, and it is very subtle also, which they understand. You see.
Um, Thank you, sir. The next question is from Sri Vardhan. What all other defense art forms are available in India? What other defense art forms are available in India?
The Anurvedic tradition was the oldest thing, which migrated to various places and intermixed with the local indigenous art forms and established itself as various kinds of martial art forms. In Tamil Nadu, we have Silambam, and even in Kerala, Kalaripayat, there are regional styles. There are names also for that, which I don't want to confuse you with that. But there are two, three districts, it is one style. In another region between two rivers, it is another style. So there are subtle differences in that also. Likewise, when you go out of Kerala, in Karnataka, there is Katavarse. There is something else, Suruli Metta. That is another martial technique. And you go to Tamil Nadu, there is Silambam. You go to Andhra Pradesh, there is something else. And in Orissa, it is Chow. And in Manipur, it is Thangta. In Punjab, there is some other martial art. So you need not mix one with the other. You develop each and every martial art form of that locality and cherish. That is the way it should be looked into.
This is an interesting question from Anand Rajappan. What will happen if it is digested by West in a different way and claimed by them in a different name, like aerobic exercise invented by West? Is there any poison pill? This is a little tricky question. What he is trying to say is there a way that Kalaripayat can maintain its originality?
Yeah. Kalaripayat exercises are more aerobic in nature because the Maypayat, as I told you, the body conditioning exercises are all aerobic only. You take in a lot of air, you breathe air, you use oxygen as the fuel, and it is not anaerobic like lifting or whatever. But for strengthening of the body, a bit of lifting exercise, anaerobic may be needed. But in Kalaripayat, it is not that. It is aerobic in nature, and Westerners, they can adapt it. Maybe in some of the Western countries, I am told that you cannot use weapons. Even when we went for demonstrations in Belgium, or not in Luxembourg. Belgium it was allowed, and in Luxembourg it was not allowed even. So the weapon training as it is may not be very useful or uh, very permissible in various countries. But then the aerobic exercises to develop your body, that and the corrective exercises which you can do for various sports persons, that is very important, and we can adapt. It depends upon how expert you are to adapt it for something else, for dance, for sports, for something else. Yes.
Thank you, sir. The next question is from Guru on net. The first question, he has two questions. I'll ask one by one. First one is Kalaripayattu or derived exercises taught to defense forces? Is it still useful in days of guns and missiles? Hand-to-hand combat also happens, right?
Yes,
That, yeah.
hand-to-hand combat. Yes, hand-to-hand combat. It can be used very effectively. Very effectively, it can be used hand-to-hand. But against a weapon, fire-spitting weapon, I don't know whether Kalaripayattu expert will be of any use. And in the military also, in the Indian Army, they have taken a few people from our Kalari also, and around also some experts they have taken, but not for any military purpose per se, but for the show,
Hmm.
uh, showing dexterity, showing that physical ability. That is all about, military training. So they were taken for exhibition purpose. They are still there.
Thank you, sir. The next question from Guru is: can Kalaripayattu cure back pain and many other lifestyle exercises? Are you planning to teach these in your online classes? Back pain. Muduguvali.
Yes, yes, Mudugubali. Yes, as I told you earlier, a lot of importance is given to the core body strength. This Naduvedana in Malayalam, or as you said, the Muduvali or the back pain, it is all mainly due to the lack of strength in the mid region, that is the core body. So a lot of importance is given to the core body, and the perfect movements, as you said, lifestyle diseases, it can be avoided by doing clarified exercises. It is the right way. uh, that is that is very useful. Clarified exercises are very useful to be away from the style diseases. Yes.
Thank you, sir. KK Gopalakrishnan wants to know: could you please talk on ethics in a Kalaripayat fight of past era? How the ethics were when you fight somebody?
Rightly asked, he himself is a Kalaripayat expert. As I know, KK Gopalakrishnan. Ethics in Kalaripayat. Yes, even I was telling about the judicial part of Kalaripayat. Even at that time, when two hired mercenaries were asked to fight each other, uh, last minute it was tried to be avoided by they can bring in their cock to fight on the stage. So that cockfight happens, and whichever cocks wins, the owner of that is declared the winner. Even that is the ethics part. As I told you, from the disciple, when you grow up to the age of a guru, that ethics it is going along with the exercises. So first defense and then offense, like that. It is there.
Thank you, sir. We are down to the last question now. Pranesh Rangarajan wants to know: is it possible for training soldiers through this form? Wellington Regiment in Ooty recognizes Kalari and do recruit people. I heard so. He is not sure. Wellington Regiment in Ooty.
I see. The physical part of it can be looked after, not the armory part of it. Physical aspects, fine. Yes. You can take a lot of exercises for color repair, and one will be physically fit for using any kind of weapons. Yes. Weapon training is different. I mean, modern weapons, guns, etc.
Sir, that brings us to the end of our question and answer session. Now, I'm curious.
Yes.
You just recently published an encyclopedic book about Kalaripayattu. Could you talk to our viewers a little bit about that?
Can I show that?
Yes,
This is
yes, please,
the
please,
encyclopedia.
please. Go ahead. Yeah.
Encyclopedia. This is written in Malayalam. It can be translated into English also. There are so many words in it. If you have a doubt on Kalaripayattu, maybe whatever it is, then you refer to that. It is in alphabetical order, like any other encyclopedia, and you refer to that, and you get the answer to that. I don't think this is the first of its kind. Nobody has ever attempted in centuries. So, being the first of its kind, I don't think it is 100% comprehensive. Like any other first dictionary or encyclopedia, it will be only 80% to 90% foolproof. But it is a very valuable book now, and recently it has been awarded the Best Book Award of 2018 by the Folklore Academy of Kerala. There is one more book written by my father actually. It is Kalaripayattu with a lot of pictures in it. It is actually a how to type of book. For example, if you want to practice the long cane exercise, you can refer to that. There are oral commands for each and every exercise, and it is all written in English. Oral commands, and you can learn by looking at the picture and the description also how to type a book. With the help of a guru, you should be able to learn everything in it. Without a help, I don't think you need not go to the Kaladi every day, but you can have this book, and once upon a time, once in a way, you can get the. So for the online classes, this type of book will be of much use, because you learn something from the screen, and then go back to the book and learn it full from there. That is the kind of book. So we are equipped for that, and only thing is we should launch it.
Thank you very much for an exciting and wonderful discussion on Kalaripayat. Now, viewers, we are going to provide information about the bank details on where you can send in your donations. It's going to be part of the show more section of the YouTube. We are also going to put it in our website where you can donate to this cause. We have had some donations from this program. Sir, I will put all it together and I will send one lump sum donation to your organization. I have all the details. Thank you very much for donating the time to talk
Thank
to
you.
us about this wonderful art form. And as always, namaskaram.
It's a wonderful, wonderful time for me also. Wonderful.
Thank, thank you so much, sir.
Very
It
good,
was all
very,
my
very good
pleasure.
question. You led it beautifully, and there were very intelligent questions also.
Yes,
Fine.
thank you so much, sir. And viewers, may all of you learn Kalaripayat and have our children, especially our girl children, feel more confident and more, they can rise to their best abilities using this ancient martial art. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.